Okay, let's take a look at the Unit Assessment Plan Part A. Part A is you thinking through your unit and creating the unit kind of summary. I'm not going to ask you to write full lesson plans, so you kind of need Part A to think through who is the class that you're designing this unit for, what are you teaching, what are your goals, standards, and objectives. That's what I'm looking for Part A. After Part A, starting next week, we're going to be building all of the assessments that go towards this unit. Okay, so I'm going to try to use the example of we're going to write a unit for third graders learning the water cycle. Okay, so here's my Part A. I'm going to create a mock description of my grade level class. So I'm going to describe my third grade class. I'm going to say I have 10 boys, 15 girls. I have 2 English language learners. I have a special ed student with vision issues, and I have a special ed student with an IEP for behavioral disorders. I can say that my class is face-to-face in person. Okay, so I'm describing the class that I'm teaching to. And it's important that you must include diverse learners, including an English language learner and special ed, because we're going to write accommodations for them. So make sure that you include them in your description. Section 2, we're not writing full lesson plans, so you're just writing an abstract, a summary of the unit that you're basing your assessment tools on. So if we're teaching the water cycle, I'm going to say that we're learning about the water cycle. We're going to learn the terms condensation, evaporation, and whatever words go with the water cycle. I'm going to describe that. I'm going to say this is going to take 1 week, Monday through Friday, 5 50-minute lessons. Okay, I'm going to estimate the time span of the unit. So that's a summary. Number 3, this is very short, goal for the lesson, a general overarching target. I want my students to understand the vocabulary of the water cycle and the process. I'm going to list the state standards, not just the number of the standard, but I'm going to write the entire standard. And then finally, section 5, I'm going to write a couple of objectives for this unit. I'm going to make sure that I'm not just using low-level verbs like recall or restate or retell. I can have those, but I need to also have some critical thinking. Okay, that's the sections. If we switch over here, if you go into D2L, course materials, and go to content, when you go to content and you scroll down to the bottom, you see a section called Unit Assessment Plan Resources. I have put samples of the unit plan in there for you to look at. So right here are Part A samples to give you an idea. I give you some flexibility in how you choose to write Part A because it depends on your grade level. So this example is a third grade. They've kind of chosen to break it down by bullet points or done it like an outline, and that's fine. The second one is a secondary English writing unit, and she chose to use a paragraph form. And then I believe there's another elementary example down at the bottom that uses a paragraph form. Okay, so there are samples that you can look at in D2L. Just remember, the unit that you describe in Part A is the unit that you have to be able to build a pre-assessment, formative assessment, and a summative assessment. So you're going to create tests and assessments for this class that you describe. All right, I hope that helps.